Obviously, proud of the way our guys played, prepared, the mindset, the mentality in terms of preparing for a good opponent. And, obviously the ability to run the ball on offense, 2 takeaways on defense. Defense played lights out. It was good to be a part of. I'm most proud of the way they came out of the locker room the second half. The ability, as we told them last week, to handle success. I think the second half we outscored them 24-7, which was huge. And after being up 42-0, to be able to come out and no matter who's in the game, to be able to perform the way we performed was really good. So proud of guys. Enjoyed this victory. As I told them, it's hard to win. As we saw last week, it's hard to win. And so enjoy it, and then we'll get back to work Sunday or Monday and ready for our next opponent.
Our first question, front row on your left, John Rice.
Marcus, what did you see out of your guys, not just leading into today out on the field pregame, but for the last 7 days that let you know they would respond mentally and physically?
Yeah, there's nothing – I don't know if it's something you could see. Because if I saw it the week before, I would have did something about it. I think it's a choice that we all have to make as individuals, and it's my job to make sure that we have a culture that doesn't accept anything less of that. And so I think at the end of the day, it has to be a choice that we all make, no matter who our opponent is, no matter what success or failure we had the previous week. Obviously, the performance is a reflection of the preparation and the mindset, physically and mentally. So we had the right one today.
Is it that close in the second half that encourages you to think, okay, they'll make this choice now, week in and week out?
Yeah, we have to. I mean, that's our job. That's what we got to do. And so there's no guarantees in life, And so we got to make sure we don't assume anybody's going to make that choice. We got to make sure that I have to make sure as a head coach that I'm continuously preaching that message, and our players got to make that decision.
On your right, second row, Tyler Horfeld.
Hey, Mark, this is kind of along the lines of John's question, but you may not be able to answer it fully, but what did you see that was different about this week than last week?
Guys, I just said it. There's nothing. It's not like you can just watch and say, these guys aren't ready. I didn't think that getting ready for Northern Illinois. I didn't think our group was ready. I thought we were ready. That's why I'm saying I believe it's a mentality. That's the thing that I took away from last week is every individual has to handle success, respect their opponent, and make sure your mindset's the right way. You're going to have mistakes in practice. I've said this before. That's what practice is for. And so it wasn't that we made more mistakes last week than we made this week. It's the sense of urgency to correct them, the mindset, and ultimately got to go do it on game day like we did today.
This looked a lot more like the Riley Leonard that we saw at Duke, the Riley Leonard that you guys went after in the transfer portal. Definitely not the Riley Leonard that we saw in the second half last week. What was different about his game? Why was he able to have the day that he did?
I haven't watched it. He was able to run the ball. That means people were blocking. He was hitting holes that were open for him. And, he had some success throwing. I don't know. I don't know the stats of throwing the ball. But, I knew that he hit some open receivers. Then more than anything, I think we helped him. We got to make sure as coaches that, we call things that we believe our players can succeed at. And that's what a big learning lesson, I think, from last week to this week is we got to spend more time together and make sure, hey, just because you do something right in practice doesn't mean it's always going to translate to the game. We got to make sure we're calling things that our players know in and out. And it takes time. It takes time spending time together. The growth of our offense from week 2 to week 3 was tremendous. And it's kudos to that offensive staff, Coach Denbrock, those guys working together, and our players believing in the game plan that our coaches put together.
In the back row on your left, Cooper.
Marcus, I know this was a challenging week for you guys. Can you describe just what you're feeling right now? Is it satisfaction? Is it relief? Is it any of those?
I'm happy, man. I'm happy we went out and performed the way we did. And so, as I told the players, we have to celebrate and enjoy victory, and we'll get back to work tomorrow and make sure we're handling success the right way.
Defense looked like it played with an edge today. What what could you tell was kind of going through their heads as they were flying around?
You know, they take a lot of pride in our defense takes a lot of pride in how it performs. Wasn't happy with the performance last week, and they were aggressive and disciplined. And you know, I'm pretty sure I don't know. I'll get the grades from the coaches, but we had a less amount of MAs, I'm sure. And all those things factor into having success. We had 2 turnovers. That's huge. That was a goal of ours to going into the game. We have to have 2 takeaways on defense and protect the ball on offense. And to win the turnover margin 2-0 is something that we have to be able to do.
On the aisle in the middle, Ethan Hansen.
Hey, Coach, from Lafayette, what experience, from your time here at Purdue led you to prepare yourself for the bounce back that you had today?
I don't know. There's nothing comparable in my time at Purdue to, you know. I mean, I was a linebackers coach here. You know, I really enjoyed living here. Me and my wife were just talking about it. We had a couple kids here. I think we might have made another one that we had in Cincinnati. And so really enjoyed it here. Didn't have as much success on the football field as we wanted. But, you know, I think we did a good job of showing our players what to expect when they come here. And they prepared that way, and they went out and executed that way.
Always your right,
Marcus, how important was it that Pat Coogan and Rocco Spindler could step up on the offensive line?
It's huge, man. Huge, Tyler. I just told those guys, man, like, to start as many games as those 2 started and to not be the starter and to be prepared and to be great teammates, you know, I can't speak any more highly of those 2 guys, man. And they went in there and they got the job done. And it's a respect to their preparation. It's a respect to their unselfishness, to their love for the team. Those 2 guys deserve a lot of credit for the way they prepared, the way they make the guys in front of them better, and in the way when they got their opportunity, they went in there and did their job.
How rewarding is it to see Riley have the day he had today with the way he sort of things happened last week?
Yeah, it's good, man. Like, we put a lot of work into it. It's good to see him have success. Right? He works his tail off, and our offensive staff works their tail off, and our O-line and our wideouts did a heck of a job, and our tight ends of blocking. Right? Riley's going to get the credit because he's the quarterback, and he had a lot of yards rushing. Riley's going to get the blame when we don't have success. That's the life of being a quarterback. And so there's a lot of people that deserve credit for Riley's performance, including Riley, and I'm proud of him.
In the front row, Tim O'Malley.
Coach, defensively, had a breakout game for Boubacar Traore. His trajectory, we talked about how he was going to be a player coming off his trajectory since, I guess, the beginning of the season to now.
Yeah, man, he's gotten better and better, and we've got him more opportunities throughout the first 2 games of the season, and today he had a lot more and made even more plays. Boubacar is going to be a really, really good player. He's a good player right now. He's going to be a great player here before we know it. He's got a lot of ability. I love the way he works in practice. He loves practice, and he did a good job today.
Our final question in the back, move on.
Coach, kind of a 2-part question. The head coach of NIU offered some to talk to you after that game. Is there some truth to that, and not to take anything away from your coaching ability, but does some of that go into preparation this week?
It was just a private conversation between 2 head coaches. You know, that happens often, you know, with you. You know, that isn't the first time I've talked to another head coach, but it's just a private conversation. It was more than anything, that was it.
Coach, thank you for your time.
All right, thank you, guys.
Easy week for you after the way last week went. What did it mean and how much did you need a performance like this?
Yeah, I thought, last week was tough for me. It was pretty awful. I felt like, I didn't do a good job of, the biggest thing for me was I didn't do a good job of handling success after week 1. And I learned from that. I learned the hard way last Saturday, but I think it's important that, I learned from that. And after a game like this, you can't get too high, can't get too low. My coaches and teammates, all credit to them, all credit to Coach Free, bringing me to his office and every day, saying, hey, you're the guy, I trust you, I got all the confidence in the world in you. That type of stuff built me up. And then for this game, I was extremely prepared all week. I was just itching to get out to the field again and be able to prove myself, right? It's a long time, Saturday to Saturday. of just sitting around and, thinking about the last game. And you're like, man, I just want another opportunity to get back out there. So this game was, not only big for me, but big for the whole team.
What was working so well about the run game when you were in there? Not just with you, but with Jeremiyah Love as well.
Yeah, I think that Purdue has a really good defense. They fly around and they play really hard. So, huge credit to them. I think we just, had a good game plan going into the game. And, I was able to use my legs a little bit. So that helped us out a little bit. But I think offensively and up front, you get a couple guys that go down and the next guys just bounce back up. The next guys come in and they just play their tails off. Like, I'm super proud of them and got all the confidence in the world and whoever's up front blocking for us.
Second row, all the way to the left, top one.
Riley, how important was it for Notre Dame to look like Notre Dame in a game like that?
Yeah, I think it's hard to put into words, what this means to this program, but this is who we are and this is who we believe we truly are. I think, when all the pieces are clicking, it starts with me. Whenever guys are clicking, I think we got a really good squad on our hands. I think, we just can't beat ourselves. We got to go into every single week like this week with our backs against the wall. Because I think there's nothing scarier than a program who just came off a loss like we did. And, we had all the vengeance in the world. Just get back out there and go compete.
Whether it was on the bus coming down last night or in the hotel, what did you sense that was different about this team? Like, we're gonna be better and play better than what we did in the World.
I don't know if there's necessarily something crazy different. I think it's the same team that I played against and had been a part of all fall camp. We are who we are. Like we're a great football team. I think that when we prepare normally and don't listen to anything external, that's just who we are as a football team. Nothing crazy. If you were walking around, you wouldn't have seen anything absurd. We just were who we were.
Front row, right in front of you, Glenn Clark.
Riley, what area of your game really improved today? What clicked? Was it your vision? Was it mentally preparing for the game? Was it running?
Yeah, I think it was my vision and being mentally prepared. I think I had a pretty good understanding pre-snap of exactly what I was going to get. Spent a lot of time this week just prepping myself mentally on trying not to do too much and just sticking to my game. And then my feet matching my eyes. I think I did a okay job at that, and I can learn from it again. Just making the game simpler, as simple as possible. My job is to get 4 yards of play. Doesn't matter how I do it. I got away from that for a second, but back on track and kind of understand my role, and my job is to win football games. So however I need to do it, I'll do it.
And just talk about the guys in front of you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can talk about them all day. Unreal. Like, their culture in that room is something that I wish everybody could see. This is a unit as an offensive line that goes everywhere together and is constantly meeting with or without a coach. They'll be in there, the last guys in the facility just by themselves, critiquing each other. Constructive criticism is their biggest thing. You come to practice, all the guys are going to be yelling at each other to work harder. That offensive line is a unit, and they're a pack. Like, whatever they do, they're doing together. So credit to them and credit to all the guys and their integrity in that room.
Right next to him, Mike Barrett.
We saw, last week, late in the first half, they had to come out and take a look at you. In this game, it seemed like you almost sought the contact. What is it about getting popped, taking the contact that maybe gets you going? What do you like about it?
Yeah, it's just how I play the game. I got no fear in the world of getting injured. I think the second you play hesitant is when things get scary. So I just play my game and trust in the Lord. Like, if that's, I'm going to lower my shoulder. I'm going to get the first down for my guys. Obviously going to try to protect myself here and there. That's, I need to be on the field. But, whatever happens, happens. I'm just going to play my game and not play hesitant.
What do you think of the way Jeremiyah in particular runs and breaks? Both you guys would break.
Yeah, he's one of the most electric backs I've ever been with in my life. I mean, you hand him inside zone, you take it. He could take it 80 yards like on any given play. Great guy, great kid. Doesn't say too much. Just puts his head down and works. He's not gonna want to sit up here and get all the glory in the world either. He just wants to put his head down and play ball. So I love being in the backfield with him.
All the way to your right, in the front row, 10 degrees straight.
Right here, really. You said you didn't handle success very well after the first week. How did that manifest itself? What was your thought process last week?
Yeah, I think whenever everybody, just like anybody in this room, whenever anybody tells you how good you are and how good your team is and you got all this positivity around you, you sometimes forget who the basics and who you are as a person, who you are as a player, who you are as a team. And you try to, go other ways with your game. I think I had to do a better job of preparing for every game like it's my last, and not getting too high and not getting too low. After week 1, I'm hearing all these great things. Oh man, I'm the man. Boom, 180, big 180. Boom. After this game, I gotta get back to just how did I prepare this week? All right, cool. And then I'll just do that every single week. So yeah, long-winded answer, but hard to explain. But yeah.
Our last question will be from Pete Sampson.
Riley, I was curious if you could give some insight in your relationship with Mike Denbrock this week in terms of getting on maybe a more similar page. Hey, here's what I like, here's what I don't. Just like seeing the game more similarly than maybe you would after 1 game or 2 games.
I think the biggest thing is, he all week just constantly reminded me, I trust you, I got all the confidence in you. Like today before the game, he sent me a Bible verse. Those little things can go a long way in a player-coach relationship. I think that we sat down multiple times, and I was open with him. What plays do I love? What plays they got to go? If you call that, I'm running it or something. So, just being honest with each other, just being vulnerable, and having open conversations is something that every offensive coordinator or quarterback have to have. And this week, we nailed it. He called the game perfectly, in my opinion, and that's what gives me and the guys, all the confidence in the world.
Is that not something that, you've been here for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of hard to get to as quickly as, you've gotten to it after 3 weeks, that sort of back and forth?
Yeah, this is my 3rd offense coordinator, and I think we've done a really good job of getting to know each other, getting to know what we like. Obviously, I missed all spring ball, so I really only had fall camp to understand him and for him to understand me. So, I'm glad it happened. Week 3, got a lot of ball left to play, so just got to keep stacking them.
Riley, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. God bless. Yep.
I didn't even think it was going to come to me. When I seen the ball, I just had to make the best out of the situation, so I got the ball and just went.
Seeing Jordan go down, what were the emotions like for you guys there, and how did you kind of rally around that?
Definitely heartbreaking, definitely in my prayers too. But I told him I'm gonna do it for him. Like everything I do is for you here on out. So, yeah.
In the second row, all the way to your right, Tyler Horvath.
This was the best you guys looked up front along the defensive line all season. What was different about today?
The preparation throughout the week, the game plan. Everybody felt comfortable. Everybody was just super locked in. Not saying that we weren't locked in the week before, but we just knew what we had to do coming into this game, especially after what happened last week. So.
When you get a handful of sacks as a team in 1 game, what does that do for your confidence going forward?
Definitely a confident booster, but it just lets us know that we have to consistently do that week by week. So.
Boubacar, with Josh out this week, how did that change your responsibilities and what sort of challenges did that bring for you?
Yeah, Josh Burnham. I was getting a little end reps. I had to really, I already knew what to do at end because I really the Viper and end position isn't a lot too different. So the preparation was still the same. So I was in the playbook a little more this week. But yeah, it was fun playing in the end position.
Hey, Boubacar. During the week, were there ways that the leaders on the team, Riley Mills, Howard Cross, some of those guys challenged you? I know you noted the preparation, but was there any way that they were really challenging you and your position group throughout the week?
Yeah, so we all knew that the D-line needed to step up, especially after what happened last week. So Riley Mills, he just kept bringing it to us, talking about come off the ball, eliminate MEs, eliminate false starts, penalties. So, basically just, limiting the mistakes that we've made previously. And
Did you see, an extra step in their game as well, that they were a little bit more attentive to detail and things like that this week?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the more they play good, it comes down to all the younger guys because we obviously look up to the older guys. So when we see them hyping us up, having great energy, playing good, it's it motivates us to do better.
In
it like having Gerby across the way in high school?
Yeah.
In scout team now, I guess, and then to see him out there today, what is his potential?
Gerby's a great player. I mean, I was super proud to see him out there. Just seeing him, like, because I obviously went to high school with him, seeing his development, seeing how, like, how stronger he's got, how quicker with his feet he's got, is just super proud of him.
And then speed's a big part of your game, but is there a certain weight you think that they want you to get to while you're here, or are you going to roughly play at this weight?
I definitely want to get heavier, like 250. I'm like 242, 243 right now, so 250, 255 is definitely the range there where I want to be, so got a lot more eating to do.
Our last question, front row, Chuck Freeman.
This place was stoked, it was sold out. What's it like to be on the field and take the crowd in?
It's truly a blessing. I mean, it's everything that you want in a player. But, yeah, I just say it's truly a blessing from God to be able to play and perform in front of all those people.
How, at what point, at what point did you know that your defense just had them dominated?
I wouldn't say that I knew that we had them dominant. I feel like throughout the game, I mean, the game is obviously never over. So, like, after half, we're saying it's 0-0. We just got to keep putting the gas on the pedal and just keep going, not even, like, paying attention on what we did before, just continuing to play great.
Boubacar, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Second row, right in the middle, Ethan Hampton.
Hey, Jeremiah. After last week, what do you feel like was the biggest challenge that you had to overcome collectively as a team to have the game that you did today?
I think Coach said it best, handling success. Last week, I mean, first week we came off of a big win, and, spirits are high, and, the big challenge was this week is to handle success better. And I think we did that pretty well. We came out, didn't underestimate our team, the opponents, and played to the best of our ability.
Jackson Neal in the second row.
278 yards rushing as a team in the first half alone. What was it like to kind of have that rushing production for yourself and just your teammates as well?
Shoot, it was great, man. I mean, through all the practice this week, we practiced hard. We trusted our guys, and, to come out in the first half and to do that well rushing, it's a great thing to see, and I'm proud of, everybody. All the backs did well, the quarterbacks did well, and shoot, our O-line blocked great. We had lots of holes, so, seeing that and seeing how our preparation led to that outcome, it's great, man.
What was it like to see your offensive line responding, going down, but still kind of providing those holes?
Shoot, man, when somebody goes down, next man's up, and everybody's prepared. That's how we practice, You could be, third on the depth chart. You never know what might happen. And when somebody goes down, the next person's ready to go, and we prepare like that.
Front row on your left, John Brace.
Jeremiah, what did you see out of Riley this week that let you know he would respond this way? And also, what did you see out of yourself and all of your teammates that let you know you guys would respond this way today?
Our preparation, man, we came out this weekend and really prepared the best we've ever prepared. I think, Riley, nothing changed. I mean, he comes in every day and works, and that goes for everybody. The standard's the standard, and everybody doesn't, divert from that. And, I knew going into this game that everybody was going to be on that stuff. I mean, last week we didn't play to our standard, and, we just got to play to our standard, and this week we did. So, everybody prepares the same way. I mean, I don't really know how to answer that better.
Well, how do you make sure you guys carry this forward, this type of standard and performance forward?
I feel like, just don't underestimate your opponent. I mean, handle success well, don't underestimate your opponent, and if your opponent is, like, projected to be, like, not better than you, I mean, that should give you more motivation to just dominate them even more. Like, make your team look even better than what people say. I mean, like, just play to your hardest. That's all I got to say.
Thank you.
Second row on your right, Tyler Morgan.
When did you know that you were going to score on that touchdown, and how big was that to put you guys up 7-0 that early?
Shoot. Sorry, I keep saying shoot. Yeah, whenever I get the ball, I'm just trying to find a way to help my team. Trying to make the most of the carries that I get. So I didn't necessarily like picture I was going to score that run. It just happened, and I helped my team start fast.
Earlier in the week, you were asked a tough question of what was going wrong for y'all's offense. What went right today? Why were you guys so good today?
We started fast. We prepared very well, and we didn't underestimate our opponent, and we played to our standard today.
Our last question opportunity, all the way front row on your left, Chuck for you.
Besides shoot, when you watched Riley run the football today on his touchdown runs, what were your thoughts watching him?
That's that guy. That's what I was thinking. Shoot. I mean, coming off of last week, everybody hopes were like down on us, but seeing Riley, come out and persevere through all the bad comments and media and all that type of stuff, and just seeing him, persevere through all that, it was something to see, because a lot of things, people say a lot of mean things, and to see Riley, have a great performance. See Riley have a great performance. It was something, man, and shoot, he played to our standard today.
And then Leonard and Coogan, to see them come in off the bench and perform the way they did, how gratifying was that for you? Because you had them blocking for you last year.
Yeah. Shoot, I mean, it was great, man. Seeing those guys get their chance, it was something to see. I mean, they practice hard. Everybody practice hard, and for anybody to come out and to step up and take on a big role, it's always something to see, and it's always something I would like to see out of all of my teammates. I want everybody to have their shine and get a chance to show the world who they are, and they got that chance today, and I'm proud of them.